me, and then I'll explain that stuff. Okay, hello, folks. Well, tonight we are looking. We're looking at Hofbrau Original. Now, I got some glare from that lamp, so let's see. Let me see what it will look like if I turn this lamp on. It's a little dark. Is it too dark?
I don't think so.
It's okay.
All right. Maria Devon, the girl next door, was trying to join us, but she was having audio problems, and I know for the last week or two she's been having some problems formatting the your webcam with the and there was some kind of Firefox problem, so it was really frustrating to her. And I know it would drive me, just drive me to no end, just make me angry, But I wish she wouldn't have dropped off because she could have. Well, I enable question and answer so she can. I think I have to press that again since we went on air, so she could contact us that way. All right. So she had the beer. Hofbrau. It's an old company. It means court brew. Okay, it was developed in Bavaria, in the city of Munich, the capital of Bavaria. There's a bunch of variants. We're doing the original one. What is it, Eric? The Munich Lager, I think.
Yes, Hofbrau Original Munich Lager.
And so we have, from the Northeast, we have Eric, Thomas Metal. I invited Nate. I guess he couldn't join us. Nate, Kate. From the West, we have Tanya.
Hi.
And from the South, we have myself, Louisiana Beer Reviews, Ronald, or Jay, whatever you want to call it. So we got the South, the West, and the North. And we might have Maria, if she can get the audio problem. Her visual was fine. I thought it was very clear. All right, who's had this before?
I have. Yes.
You've had it, Tanya?
I have not.
Okay, it's 5.1% alcohol. I'm going to read what it says on the back of the label. Hofbrauhaus München. It's a government-owned beer company. Okay, so imagine the government makes beer. Hofbrau Original embodies the special atmosphere of the brewing metropolis Munich and carries this throughout the world. Its full-bodied, refreshing, and fine, harsh aroma, it says right there, have made it world famous, a Munich specialty with character. 11.2 ounce bottle.
Hey, we got Keone today. Hello, Keone.
Oh,
Hey.
that is such good news. Keone, we've been missing you so much, buddy.
I know, right? What are you guys drinking tonight?
Hofbrau Original.
Oh, nice.
Now, John Sharon wanted to join us tonight. He hadn't been able to join us lately because he's been so busy at work. He said he looked at 3 different stores. He could not find this beer. Maria found it. Now she's having audio problems. Jean-Pierre, Beer and TV Rambo in Mobile, Alabama, could not find it. He loves to join. Keone, you've had Hofbrau?
Yeah, I wasn't able to find it. I basically just stopped in to say hello.
Oh, well, hello. You can hang out with us if you want.
All right.
Okay, now, how about the appearance, Eric and Tanya? It's kind of golden, huh?
Yeah, pretty pale gold right there. Very carbonated. It's super bubbly.
Yeah, it's
I
fierce.
am getting what you would call some very fine white particles, which would lead me to believe that even with those fine white particles, that it's well filtered. And I had filtered the glass a little bit, so maybe that's why I didn't get a huge amount of head. But it is pretty bubbly and effervescent, almost like a champagne in a way.
You got noise in the background.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't get much head of foam either because I have a chalice glass or a schooner glass, and those don't build much head on them. Y'all can still hear and see me?
Yes.
I kind of bugged out on my end. Highly filtered lager beer. Interestingly, the people that invented Pilsner, the guy that, what's his name, Grohl, who invented Pilsner, he was from Bavaria. He developed Pilsner. He went next door to the neighboring kingdom and developed it because the people in Pilsen, Bohemia, said that their beer was terrible. And so in 1842, he went from, it might have been Munich, up to Pilsen, next country, you know, it'd be like going from California to Nevada. And they were like, oh yeah, this is way better than the trash we've been drinking. So then that became such a big style, you know. So, hey, Eric, how about we let Tanya give us the nose and the flavor, and then I'll let you do it.
Go right ahead.
Keone's going to drink that Bud Ice while we talking. Okay.
Big boy.
I feel like I was influenced by the label, but first thing I thought of as soon as I opened it is holy moly, this smells like a lager.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
encouraging.
call it corn, and I don't even know that that's it. But anyway, it smells like corn to me, lager. Kind of sweet though. I don't really get a lot of hops out of this necessarily. Although dry, which is a weird combination of things. Anyway, that's that lager smell. So very lagery to me. I want to drink it though, so let's see how that happens. Go.
Yeah, it's a lager, and if you get it in the big 500 milliliter bottle, it's a brown bottle. You know those European olive green / brown bottles.
Yeah.
Straight up. This is just straight up green. Okay, Eric.
Maria had mentioned at one point in time when we did the St. Pauli girl, and after I started drinking that beer, I started understanding what she was talking about. It had a really big, like a cooked vegetable, sort of a cooked kind of creamed corn scent to it. But this one here, which is also in that same Munich Hills lager style, to me doesn't have any problems with the beer having any light struck to it or any other brewing flaws to it. It has a little bit of that noble hop spice to it, and I do get a little bit of a Pilsner cracker, kind of a malt base to it. But I think, as Maria said, or as Tanya said, I should say, that it smells exactly like a lager and exactly how you would want this style to smell on the aroma.
Yes, and I agree. And it is made according to the German purity law, so it only uses water, barley, malt, hops, and yeast, no corn or rice. Get that, like you said, that cracker. It's almost like, you know how if you get communion bread, if you went to church and they have the unleavened bread, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Hey, Maria. Now, Maria, if your audio doesn't work, don't jump off, because you could type your comments, and we will go along with that. Yeah, see? Hello. We can understand simple sign language. Maria, have you had this before?
She's gonna have it now, I think, what you're saying.
Yeah, pour it into that Genesee glass.
Oh, hello, doggy.
Okay. The dog. Hey.
Oh.
Boo.
She gave us some quick sign language. She hugged it and she kissed it. That meant what?
See you later. Bye.
No. What did that mean when she hugged and kissed that beer bottle?
That she's thirsty.
And that she liked the beer brand. All right. Now let's go with the taste.
Prost.
Prost. We got ferrets. We got dogs. We got audio props. Okay, Clink. John, what do you think about the flavor of this beer that you've never had before until just right at this moment?
This has a really, really robust flavor. I'm kind of surprised by that. I was expecting, something that doesn't. I feel like lagers oftentimes feel watery to me, like they don't have a lot of flavor, and this has a lot of flavor to it. That's nice.
Oh, and no one got any skunk, did they, on the aroma? I didn't get any skunk.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting any skunk. Yeah. Flavor-wise, I feel like I'm almost in shock with how much flavor there is. So. definitely a crisp finish to it, which is nice as well. And then it has nice malty sweetness to it. It's really, really very enjoyable. I feel like I always call it the beer roller coaster of flavors. You know, it's like it has this big wave of malt and then this big crisp finish, and that's really nice, actually. I like it. I like it. It has a nice sweetness to it, which makes it malty enough, I think, for my preferences. That's all I have to say for now. I'm just going to drink this now.
So is it better than you expected it was going to be?
It is better than I expected it to be. Lager really is not my favorite style, and so I usually just drink it because it's something I've never had before, but I don't know if I made a face or what when I took that first drink, but it was like, oh, wow, this is exciting to drink, and that, you know, so that's nice. It has, like, big, bold flavor, and it's very carbonated, you know, but it has this big, bold flavor, and it's that makes it interesting to drink, as opposed to a lot of lagers I feel like are very bland or very mild, if I were to not use inflammatory language.
So. No, I don't mind you saying that. So you mean they're dull?
They are dull to my taste. Yes, yes, exactly.
And there's this guy, I watch his videos sometimes. He doesn't want to show his face, like, I guess for whatever reason he doesn't want people to know who he is. He wears a mask or whatever. His name is Ruku from England. But I don't mind him wearing a mask because he doesn't talk. He doesn't start stuff and say ugly things. You know what I mean? So if he wants to stay anonymous, that's cool because he doesn't, like, make trouble.
Right.
I don't like the people that hide their face, but they're always talking dog on everybody. It's like, wait a minute. If you're going to man up, then, you know, man up. But anyway, Ruku, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
So Ruku, he always says, I can't stand ales. He'll say, don't give me any more requests to drink ales because I can't stand them. He said, I like lagers though, and it's funny watching him and then watching what you're saying. It's you get two different people with those.
The opposite, yeah, the opposite spectrum of the beer enjoyment there.
Now there's Maria. She's still got no audio, but I wish she wouldn't quit because people like her to be there, and she can give us sign language. Maria, if you like this beer a lot, give us 2 thumbs up. If you think it's okay, give us 1 thumb up.
I see two. Right.
She likes it a lot. Now, I know Maria is a big German lager person, and she loves to cook with that. You know, I don't mean use it to cook with, but to have it as a pairing with things.
To drink while cooking? Oh, wait, no. Maybe.
Yeah, you know, like pair it with food. So now, Eric, now what did you say, Tanya? With what cooking?
Oh, to drink while cooking.
That too. I do that.
Nice.
Now,
Oh, Maria, stop it. All right, anyways, back on track.
She may have to reboot her system, huh?
Probably. I've had a couple of sips from the beer, and the beer definitely reminded of Swillengrog from Australia, where he says it's holding that taste profile. I'm getting those sweet bready malts. I'm getting a little bit of a spicy noble hop zing at the end of the taste for rounding out the beer, and I would expect that in this style. I mean, it is very crisp, very easy drinking. I would say it's on the high side of the light mouthfeel, and it has a little bit of like a grainy kind of a corn husk thing, although that's not really, I know they're not really brewing it with that, but that's kind of the grainy malty profile that I'm getting, and there's even a little bit, I mean just a little bit of like a lemony citrus kind of a thing going on. But other than that, I think it's tasting really, really good, and if people want to drink a good lager and a good representation of what a traditional kind of a lager is, this will be a great one to go with. So far, so good.
Yeah, and I'm getting the same things y'all are talking about, the grassy hops, the cracker. It's got some body, though. It's got a lot of body. It's not a heavy beer, but it's got a pretty good amount. I mean, it's not thin. It's a crisp finish, though, but even though it has a pretty strong medium body,
I think that might be one of the influencers about why I like it, is that it has good body. So it's not thin and watery, and it has there's substance both in flavor and in body. So I agree with that.
Yeah, Maria said that it didn't work for her and she's not going to try again on the video. That's according to Facebook chat.
Yeah, I can understand she's pretty frustrated about it. I don't recall them having the 500 milliliter bottles at Martin Wine Cellar. So
I've never seen them.
Yeah, I bought the little 330, and I think it cost I don't know, it was $1.29 or something like that. They have 6-packs at Mathern's. They're about $9.99.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, mute those little chimes. And people were sort of disappointed about St. Pauli Girl from my recollection. I like it, but it does have a flatter flavor than this.
I think some people that are really, really into the whole judging certification program and the flavor profiles of beer might think that one, it's not only that it's in a green bottle, but I think some people might even think that it actually has a legitimate brewing flaw in that beer per se. But I think when it comes to some of these kind of green bottled and European bottled beers that come over to the United States, I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think sometimes they're distributed over here in the United States in a green bottle because people have certain expectations of what a European lager should be and what it should sort of look like, even in presentation, in packaging.
Yeah, that's probably true. I've seen so many German beers in brown and green. But some ones I'll name real fast that I think are really good. Now, I like St. Pauli Girl. Other people would not agree. Okay. But some other ones that I find, besides this one, yeah, I mean, we're going to end that. Let's get off of this for a second. I would buy this again. I bought it many times. I would definitely buy Hofbrau original again, okay? That's my opinion. What about you two?
I tend not to buy lagers. See previous comment.
Gotta take that into account, yeah.
Right, but I feel like I would buy it for somebody that I know likes lagers.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna, if I'm inviting them over or I'm going and bringing beer to their house or something like that, because I want to hear what they think about it, because I think it's different enough that if I like it, I'm curious about other people's opinion.
Right, but it's not a style that, it's not a type of, it's not really a style, it's like a type of beer you don't care for.
Right, yeah, I wouldn't go buy it for myself to enjoy, no.
You get lagers on one end or ales. It's going to be a lager or an ale. So you're going to stick with the ales.
Definitely.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a sin. Doesn't get you kicked out the beer community. Actually, maybe you would get kicked out of the beer drink community if you said you preferred lagers, which I don't know why that's why that's a sin. Eric, would you buy this again?
I would totally buy this again. And I don't think I've ever been to a Hofbrau house, but I would totally go there, and I would totally, not just to be sort of stereotypical to it being a German beer, but I would totally go down on some sauerkraut and sausage and Wiener Schnitzel with this thing. It would be really good with a lot of different kind of fatty foods because it's so crisp, and it's got a little bit of that green, florally kind of a hot bite that I think it would clean out the palate really well and would work with a lot of different foods. So if you're kind of in a pinch and you don't know really what at the beer store you might want to have with food, this could be a good all-purpose kind of a beer for foods and stuff. And I think it tastes good enough, and I think it's a good representation of what the lager, what kind of a pale style lager should be. So I would definitely buy this again, yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. And some other ones that I would recommend is like Paul Honor.
Yeah.
And Spaten.
Stefaner original is really good.
Weihenstephaner, the original lager. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's
that might be the best lager I've ever had in my life. What?
There's a restaurant in the city near me. Sorry if you were going to talk, Keone. There's a restaurant in a city near me that's called I don't even know what it's called actually, but it's a German restaurant or something like that. Anyway, and they serve Wiener Schnitzel and I think they have Spaten on tap, and now I'm curious to know if they have this. I feel like the next time I go, and I might go on purpose to try this, to see if they have this beer, because I think you're exactly right. Like, that would be such a good meal. I would be very happy afterwards. This would be a perfect pairing.
Oh, yeah. I love to eat that kind of stuff, but I prefer to eat it during the day. I just don't eat a lot at night because I find, in my case, I don't speak for other people. In my case, when I eat a lot at night, I do sleep well, but I gain weight. You know, it's like I can gain a lot of weight eating at night. But I don't want to do that. Anyway, after I lost 30 pounds, I had to change my eating habits to avoid gaining. But I know other people are like, screw that, I want to eat, I'm eating. And I don't disparage that either, okay? But what are some other German ones I was thinking of? Pilsner Urquell, which, and I got into this big argument with this Czech guy. He lived in the Czech Republic. He lives there, and he was telling me, you're wrong, you're wrong. And then I was like, no, I'm not wrong. And I told him all the reasons I wasn't wrong. And he said, well, people in the Czech Republic are sensitive about it. I said, I understand that, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong. You know?
There's the Augustiner Brau. That's pretty good.
Augustiner?
Yeah, however you pronounce that word. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
I haven't had that, but I don't think I've had it, but I've had the Pilsner Urquell.
I think they even make an actual, what they call a light style lager. So maybe that's a good one to try if you don't like light American style beers.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of all these that would come from that German Confederation of the 1800s.
But I mean, just because this one might be considered a Munich Helles lager, I think you would find a pretty good drinking experience even if you tried some different, German pilsners too. They're pretty, to me that those two styles are pretty similar.
Yeah.
They're similar enough. You can't really go wrong with Germany.
And
Spaten is on here, and West Stephaner.
Weihenstephaner, Spaten,
Hollander, yeah.
Hollander, what we're drinking tonight, which is so enjoyable, Hofbrau.
Lowenbrau.
Lowenbrau, oh yeah, Lowenbrau, that's so good. And what am I talking about? What about Staropramen? Staropramen is a fantastic beer, but boy, don't try to find it.
I've never even heard of that.
Staropramen is so delightful. I drank some of that in Manhattan because, well, I'm sorry, I bought it in Manhattan and I brought it back. Same thing with Lowenbrau. I haven't seen. I'm talking about the German Lowenbrau, not that foolishness they were making over here.
Oh.
Okay, so 5.1% alcohol. The Dunkel, the dark, which is sort of like a red beer from my recollection. The Dunkel is 5.5. Ah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Oktoberfest beer is 6.3. Even nicer. Tanya, would you be
much more my style?
Tanya, would you be willing to try a 6.3% lager beer?
Sign me up.
And the Maybach, that's the one with the red label. 7.2%. Wait a minute, did I just read this right?
7.2? Wow.
7.2%. Let's drink that. Let's session that. Let's record it.
That'll be fun.
I can really see myself enjoying that 7.2% because I know how rich that's going to be. And before we close this out, have any of y'all, including Keone, now we're going down to Italy, have you ever had the Birra Moretti La Rossa?
Is that the red one?
Yeah, it's over 7.
I have not.
I get
want
that
to
in
try
my
that.
area. I haven't had it yet.
It's that Doppelbock.
Let's examine it.
7%, and it comes from Rome. That is a jewel. I would examine it. Would I examine it? I did an examination with, I think it was Stuart Pickard from England, and we were bragging on it, and
Excellent.
but nobody else could. When I wanted to examine the Birra Moretti La Rasa, and actually at the time when that was developed in Italy, that part of Italy was called Austria. It was actually part of Austria, and within the German Confederation. These are things people don't know, that there are big parts of Italy that used to be part of Germany. But anyway, that's not really off the subject, because what comes from Germany? Famous beer brands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Like Bud Ice. No.
get him off the show. Get him off the show. No, I would do Bud Ice again, but the Birra Moretti La Rosa, I would put that. If y'all want to do that, I will do it. Okay, I will definitely do it, and I will enjoy doing it. I love Doppelbocks. Tanya, I don't know what experience you have with Doppelbocks.
I feel like Doppelbocks are a lot like this, where there's enough flavor that it's interesting to me.
Right, and another thing, Tanya, we do intend to do some more ales. Like in 2 weeks, we intend to review Chimay White Cap.
I saw that. I almost bought one the other day, just in case / do it on my own.
2 weeks, Chimay, the white one.
Yeah, let me put that on my calendar right now, just in case. I'm curious, you guys, how much did you pay? If you got did you get a 6-pack, and how much did you pay for the Hofbrau original?
Okay, for the single bottle, I think it was $1.29. For the 6-pack, it's about $9.99.
Yeah, I got it from Bevmo, and it was $12.99 for this 6-pack. Yeah, which normally I wouldn't. I was like, $12.99 for a lager. Like, I'm not really excited about that. But I bought it with this $5 off coupon, which made it $7.99 plus the CRV, which was reasonable. But I feel like sometimes that they jack up the price on beers that are imported, even though I don't think that the price needs to be that high.
We can't argue with that. I agree with that.
Yeah. The 29th is Chimay?
Yes. Chimay White. We've already done the blue and the red. And we should do the Doré, but I don't think anybody can find the Doré.
Well, now that I pour my beer, now that I pour another Hofbrau straight down the middle, it has a much thicker, whiter head.
Well, that's very impressive.
Well, there you go. So it all depends on how you tilt the glass, and if you go with the Budweiser line of pouring straight down or not.
Yeah, because literally, before we close this out, that is actually what they recommend. If you get on the Anheuser-Busch website, they have that 8-volume, 8-chapter book. It's a book you can read online. It's called Zithology, and it's all about beer. It's sort of like a little tutorial. Of course, it takes hours to read, but I read it all. But they say they recommend pouring beer straight in because it releases esters, and it makes you smell the beer better. And they said when you smell it, it enhances the drinking experience. But,
yeah, I feel like a lot of times if the beer is real heady like that, you can't smell it. And so I'm trying to swirl it in the glass so I can actually get the beer, get to the surface of the beer as opposed to just foam to smell it. And, so sometimes I'm like, I get nothing out of this because it's just all bubbles. So that I can hear that. Maybe pour it off like that for a minute and smell it and then finish it.
Yeah, but they're saying pour it straight in.
Yeah.
They're not saying, but they're saying pour it straight in. Now, I'm not saying they don't advise against letting it set for a minute.
Yeah.
Stuart
Cicerone
Picard
advises against.
Yeah, Stuart Picard, he talked about skunk, and he's right. He's over there in Yorkshire, England. He says, look, these people talk about skunk, skunk, skunk. He said, pour any beer that's skunked and let it set for 1 minute and smell it, and it will not smell like skunk. And he's right. I mean, but what do people do? They pour a beer and they immediately what?
Yeah.
So Stuart says it'll dissipate and then it won't be any problem. He's really smart about those things, but we can't have Stuart on because it's already after midnight over there. So it's like Stuart tells me I have to sleep, So
get up and have a beer with us.
Occasionally he does, but it's so difficult. Now Keone, and then we're done. We're done. We want you to join us. We got regional beers coming next week. Now, here's the thing. If anybody tells me I can't find a regional beer, you know they're lying.
Yep.
Don't lie. Just tell me you don't want to come on here. We won't be angry.
Now, you guys actually got a few beers that I could have got, but those days I wasn't even home.
Yeah.
Like the Bud Light Lime, I could get that, but I wasn't home that day.
I understand, but like a person telling me I can't find a regional beer in my area, it would be like, come on, man.
If you can't find a regional beer, a.k.a. Ballast Point, in your area, there's something wrong.
It's like saying you can't find Budweiser. I went to 20 beer stores. I could not find Budweiser. Oh, yeah? What? But what?
Well, I couldn't find the Poly Girl. I only could find it non-alcoholic because I tried to look for that one.
Don't feel bad. A whole bunch of people couldn't find it. And they, look, folks, my viewers, every week this happens. Every week somebody's telling me, I can't find it. I can't find it. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And Jean-Pierre was so angry, you know, I couldn't find it. And John sharing at Zone 1, he said, I could not find it. I went to 3 different places. So, I mean, what can you do? I try to find beers that everybody can find, that everybody can get. Like, people will make requests. Why don't y'all examine Senebrakov Porter from Finland? I'm like, yeah, it would be wonderful. No one can get it.
If we could get it, right.
So what's the point? And anyway, what's the point of even examining a beer that the viewers can't get? You know, it's like oftentimes I'm reluctant to review a beer. It's like, oh, I reviewed this beer. Ain't it great? No one watching the video can get the beer.
Yeah,
So what's the point of the review? Like, it's like just to make a video? I mean, what's the point? So you got to consider that. Anyway, I would buy the St. Pauli Girl again. Now I'm drinking Milwaukee's Best Light. Okay, you know, you can attack me if you want, but
But Ice, man.
It was cheap at Walmart, and it's fine. I mean, it's a guzzling beer. It's not a contemplative beer. I didn't buy it to think about it. I bought it to drink the pint. Keone, that's your attitude about the Bud Ice, right?
Yeah. If anything, people be mad at me. I think Bud Ice is even cheaper beer. But I don't care, whatever.
Right. Sometimes it ain't all that serious. You just want to sit back and watch an episode of Joni Loves Chachi, and you don't make any apologies for it.
Right.
Although, if you're watching that, I don't know, you might want to apologize for watching that. But
Own it. Just do it.
Okay, now I watch Full House sometimes. Now, but actually, I used to watch Full House when it was on originally. I used to love to see what was happening with Uncle Jesse. But all right. So enough banter and stupidity. Walking Dead.
Yeah, man.
No.
Oh, bounce over there. Hello. Woo.
Okay. All right. So what do you? That's it. We're off. What are you drinking, Tanya? Real fast. That's a Ballast Point. No. Yeah.
Ballast Point Even Keel. Session.
Interesting.
But holy smokes, it's packed with hops.
Pretty good stuff right there.
I would like to do an examination one night or a discussion on session IPAs because I have a lot of negative attitude about session IPAs.
That would be awesome.
I had a chance to drink that Ballast Point, but I ended up trying the mango one instead because that sounded more weird. And
wow.
it was weird.
This is 3.8% alcohol by volume. I'm not even certain the point of drinking it.
Give me a break.
Same as the mango. The mango is 3.8 as well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I appreciate the full spectrum of things, but...
Tanya, I have brought so much sadness into my life by drinking session IPAs.
Uh-oh.
You know, when I make these comments, I make few friends and gain many enemies.
I also don't really like IPAs, for that matter.
You're out of the beer drinking community.
I go like, I'm not a fan of lagers. I'm not particularly fond of IPAs. Like, so...
Belgian or bust.
I'm burnt out on IPAs.
I have publicly admitted it.
Tanya is the devil. If I was going to drink a session IPA, and by the way, I never would, but let's just say for the sake of argument that suddenly I wanted to do something foolish. if I was going to buy session IPAs, I would buy Founders Session IPA.
Oh, the all-day IPA?
The all day.
That's the only one I like.
It was so mild, though. It's not like an IPA, if memory serves me correctly. Isn't that the one that's super mild? And
I know. I watched your video, and I agreed with it.
I feel like then you're drinking a session ale, not a session IPA.
Thank you. Look, hot. I said we're going off the air. Now it's starting to be rant and rave with everybody.
Oh, we gotta go, guys.
Hoggy, who used to do videos, he was right. He made a video about 2 or 3 years ago about session IPAs. He said, look, I got a problem. He said, an IPA should be 6 to 7% alcohol or higher. You know, about 6 or 7. He said, what is this? I'm going to go pay good money to buy something that's 4%, 4.5% alcohol. He said, what you need to do is build up some tolerance and learn to drink.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. I'm like, thank you. I'll go buy my. Look, you go drink Founders Session IPA. I'm gonna go buy my Sierra Nevada Torpedo or something like that.
I'll drink Trillium, thank you.
This is my slogan nowadays. I don't normally drink IPA, but when I do, it's double IPA.
Amen.
Right. Or extra IPA. Oh yeah, but anyway, enough rant and rave with everybody.
Drink Hofbrau. We like it.
Last comments on this Hofbrau. My last comment is it's good, and I recommend that you try it.
I think that you shouldn't all out there that may be watching this video, you know, go into drinking this beer or go into drinking a lot of other beers in a green bottle and immediately having a prejudice towards that green bottle. Not all green bottle beers are created equal. Not all green bottle beers are distributed and stored in a store shelf or in a cooler the same way. So give this one a try. I think I've had enough of the 6-pack so far where I can definitively say mine is not skunked, and I don't think they have an off-brewing flavor of this beer.
Yeah, don't be bottle racist.
Exactly.
Bottlist.
Don't be a bottleless. Any last comments, Tanya?
I mean, other than color me impressed. You know, I feel like I always go into lagers being like, all right, well, I'm just going to drink a beer with these cool guys, and maybe it'll be okay. But this was a good beer. So, thanks.
Okay, are you drinking that 3.8% Session IPA? Would you choose that or this 5.1% lager?
Totally the 5.1. Totally. 1, for alcohol content, and 2, because IPAs, I feel like if you're going to drink an IPA, you're doing it partially for the alcohol content because it's just so intense. And by intense, I really mean harsh. So why would you make it 3.8%? I don't understand. I don't get that. I mean, it's in a can. I can take it to the pool. I mean, that has value.
I know, it's like you got married and on your honeymoon you watched Jeopardy. You could have stayed single and done that.
Right. And free. It could have been free. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
All right. So anyway, that's it. Thank you, Keone. And you got to get a regional beer for next week and Chimay White for 2 weeks. 3.8 will pull. I'm not even reading that. That is. All right. Good night, folks. Thanks for watching this video production.
Adios.